We also have breaking news out of San Diego. An active shooting is being reported at an Islamic center near Balboa Avenue. Heavy police presence there. We want to take you now to CBS News San Diego, our affiliate KFMB, following the story.
Right here, wanting to know how their children are doing as they're inside the school there, where there is this very active scene for an active shooter investigation, Netta and Eric.
Yeah, you can certainly hear and understand the emotion coming from that man, with his family members inside. Glad to hear that they are okay. A lot of confusion and chaos, understandably, and we are here to help provide some of the answers that we are getting of this shooting that happened near the Islamic Center. An active shooting was the report that they were called in for. We have not been able to confirm whether or not, indeed, shots were fired.
Right, and this Islamic Center of San Diego, you see the mosque right there, that large building, and the Islamic School of San Diego is there on that same property. So that's where you're seeing those kids that were being escorted out. I was looking this up. The Islamic Center serves a congregation of over 5,000 people. So this is a large gathering place for Muslims here in San Diego. They have people that attend multiple times throughout the day for prayer services. They have the school, obviously, that we've been talking about, hearing from parents who are concerned about their kids there. But daily prayers, thousands of people visit the Islamic Center every single week. They have large Friday services. If you've driven past, you see the large crowds that gather there constantly at Balboa and 805. So it's a pretty, known spot right there among the Muslim community, but also for San Diego being such a large facility that they have. They serve immigrants, refugees, local families. We apologize, our chopper view is kind of going in and out right there, but the helicopter's flying overhead, and there's that white building, the mosque.
Yeah, the website here is saying it's the largest mosque in San Diego County. So a lot of people attend this. Let's check in with Steve Price, just arriving at the scene. Steve, what are you seeing and what have you heard out there?
So I am at Cosmo and Ekstrom, literally right in front of the mosque. You can see it over my shoulder. Let me move out of the way so you can see what is going on here. A lot of officers. We also see K-9 as well. When we first got to this area, we were actually a lot closer. We were just across the street, and at that point, they started moving people back. There were a lot of parents here trying to pick up their children. There was a lot of chaos, and at that point, the officer said, "We think the situation is safe, but we're not sure. We still need to clear the facility." So they moved everybody back, and that's what's happening right now. They are clearing the facility, going room by room to make sure that there is no active shooter still inside the building. As for the situation with the person who we heard was firing shots, we don't have any details about that person at this time, but as you can see, the officers here at the scene seem to be pretty calm. A very heartbreaking scene, though, that we saw just a few minutes ago when officers were holding the hands of children who, to me, looked like maybe they were 4 or 5 years old, and they were just walking them out one by one, very calmly, but you could see the little kids holding the officer's hand. Before that, we saw older kids, maybe 7, 8 years old, a long daisy chain of them with teachers and with officers as well, walking them out of the area, taking them around the corner, and then as parents were here, they were telling them, hey, we're going to move all the kids out of the area so you can pick up your children in a safe location. But that's where we stand right now. Still a lot of confusion out here, parents showing up, not really sure where to find their kids, and everyone at this point is just waiting to get more details about any possible injuries, any information about the suspect, any reason why this mosque was picked today at this time. At this point, the investigation is just beginning, so we just don't have those answers. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, you're right.
Steve, thank you.
Absolutely heartbreaking when you see kids coming out of a facility like this, and officers with their guns drawn, and we hear reports of active shooter. We do not know if any shots were fired in this, if they are looking for suspects, if anyone was hit in this, if anyone's hurt. Again, those details we're trying to get from officers there at the scene right now. But because it's such an active scene, those details will be coming here shortly. As soon as we get that, we'll pass it along to you. We have several crews on the ground. And here's our look from Chopper 8 right now.
And you can see here from the Chopper 8 view, too, this mosque is a couple levels to it, a couple stories, and as Steve mentioned, several rooms inside. So they're going room by room, checking for threats to see what's really happening there. And, of course, we're waiting to find out exactly all those details. We do want to get you a traffic alert, an important note to mention here on the 805. So as we know, this is right off of the 805 at Balboa, and you see right there from the CHP Border Communications Center, that's the San Diego region, CHP saying 805 northbound and southbound off ramps at Balboa Avenue are shut down for an unknown duration due to police activity. Avoid the area. We've been mentioning that Balboa and 805, definitely not a place you want to try to drive to. They have it blocked off. So the off ramps, we're now getting confirmation north and south that these are closed. So this is at the 805.
Okay, we are getting some more information on the reunification location. It's going to be 4125 Hathaway Street. So if you are looking for your child or you're trying to be reunified, the location's 4125 Hathaway Street. And I know that Shannon Handy has more details on that. Let's check back in with her as well.
Yeah, we know, Shannon, the last time we checked with you, so many parents they're panicking. Now there's at least a reunification location, right?
Exactly, and it was important for San Diego Police to get this information out. They flagged me down and they said, can you please share this? I mean, you can see a number of people waiting here. Some of these people actually were simply just walking and they were stopped in their tracks. So some of them are just trying to pass through, but a lot of the people you see in this crowd are parents or relatives or friends or people who know someone inside that mosque and want to get to their loved one. And again, I want to repeat this. I think this is just a way to make it easier for officers and for these families since this area is blocked off. You guys have said it a few times, but they want people, families of anyone inside that mosque to go to San Diego, Claremont Adventist Church. It's 4125 Hathaway Street. So that's the new information we can share right now. And again, I know as we're reporting on this, there's still a lot of questions. We are still awaiting answers as to what exactly happened inside the mosque, if anyone was hurt, if there was in fact a shooting. But obviously you can see there's still a very large police presence. There seems to be more and more showing up. So we just wanted to make sure we got that on the air as soon as possible where that family reunification area is.
Where is it?
Oh, sorry, someone's asking me.
For the school or for?
It's if you know anyone. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just talking to someone that's asking me a question. That's the address, 4125 Hathaway Street. It's the San Diego Claremont Adventist Church. And this is for anyone that's trying to reach a family member or someone inside the mosque. So that's where they want families to go.
My grandkids are in the Hebrew school across the street.
Okay.
So that's what I was wondering. If they had it
So
for
but they were on lockdown, obviously, because of
Correct.
this. Did you get a call, a text?
It's through their parent app.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
And I'm sure just like the fear of all these people, your heart just stops.
Well, it does. I lived close to Columbine when it happened. So this is something that, yeah, it hits you. And they're my grandkids. So, yeah, I put a call out to my church and to everybody I know, and I got people praying, standing at the line. I got my hands raised, and I'm praying over this situation. I have to put it in God's hands, or I'll be a hot mess.
How old are your grandkids?
Soon to be 13 and 11.
And are they able to communicate with you?
My granddaughter has messaged me, and she said we are sheltering in place right now. I think we're safe.
Okay.
So they've got a plan, and they go through drills. I know this.
It's disheartening, though, to have to even go through the drills, and now you have to act it out in real life.
Right. So I just told her I'm here until you're in my arms safe, and I love you. And that's what we do, is we love. So
that's all you can do.
Huh? What was your name? Denise Flippin.
Thank you, Denise. I hope they're okay and that you get to
They will be.
with them.
They will be. I just pray for the person that's deranged enough to do this, that they can be stopped.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's hope you can get to your grandkids soon. So,
yeah, have a blessed day.
you as well. Thank you for speaking. So, I don't know, guys. Am I still on the air with you?
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
got
sure.
you there, Shannon. We were
There's
listening
a lot
to her,
of chaos over here. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So what happened there? Obviously live TV, but I was reporting back to you guys about where families should go. Someone came up to me and they wanted to know the address, and you heard from her right there. Her 2 grandkids are at the Jewish school, I believe, next door across the street. And there are plenty of others like her. I mean, let's pan over again to the crowd. Again, I mentioned earlier, you know, some of these people are simply trying to walk down the street, but some of these others are trying to get to someone that is associated with the mosque, or at least one of the schools nearby.
Right.
So it's just a scary situation. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. And I understand the fear, and especially in not knowing what exactly is going on.
Right.
But we do know, as you heard from that grandmother, that, you know, her grandchild is still able to communicate with her. Obviously, there's people in there with cell phones.
Right.
So we are getting messages out that says we're fine, we're safe. But we, the media, we're still awaiting word on exactly what happened, if anyone was hurt or even worse. And yeah, we're just waiting like everyone else right now.
And hearing
we do have that reunification
Right.
address right there on the screen there, 4125 Hathaway Street. And as far as the case and as far as police are concerned, the scene 7050 Ekstrom Avenue, according to STPD's latest tweet, is still active but contained. Those are the words that police are using right now. That witness, or that woman we just talked to, mentioned something about a potential suspect. We don't have those details confirmed right now, but we just know that this is an active scene, but they consider it contained at this point.
And yeah, when you hear, you know, from the grandmother that she's going to be there until she is able to hold her grandkids
Right.
in her arms and know that they're safe, that's the thought of so many of those families, those parents, grandparents waiting there at that caution tape. I mean, you have that police tape blocking everything off because the police do need to do their jobs, but for so many, there's just the unknown. Is my kid okay? So we understand that can be nerve-wracking, but at least now we have a reunification location, a place for families to go to wait for word. If their kids are younger, obviously they don't have cell phones to contact them, but that could be a spot where you can hopefully get some more answers. It's the San Diego Claremont Seventh-day Adventist Church where people are gathering now to try to get back together with their kids that might be at that school or the school across the street. This is an area with several religious institutions. You heard the Hebrew school is right there. There's the Islamic Center with the Islamic school there at that mosque location. And there's, you know, the Seventh-day Adventist is now the reunification spot.
Right,
So.
and we're talking about the Islamic Center of San Diego here. There's a school inside there. In some of the pictures, you can see that there's a playground. We saw, you know, young kids hand in hand being led out with officers with guns. I mean, a very scary situation, I'm sure, for those kids, but they were led out in a calm manner, and it appeared that none of them were hurt from the videos that we were seeing, which was some good news. So hopefully the parents are able to reunify with their children here at 4125 Hathaway Street. We know that there are several roads in this area that are closed down. STPD telling people just to avoid this area. You saw that map there. This is the southwest corner of Balboa and 805. Balboa, a very busy stretch. Our station's not really too far from where this is at here. Our ground crews could even hear the sirens and everything on, as they were just making the short jaunt over to this location here. Again, an active shooter report is what this all started off as. At noon, officers swarmed this area at the Balboa Mosque there, the Islamic Center of San Diego, for an active shooter report. We don't know if shots were fired from officers or a potential suspect or suspects. Still trying to learn those details as well. But the good news is that we saw kids being let out in an orderly fashion, and that there's a reunification location now, 4125 Hathaway Street. We are still waiting on a media staging point. That's what's going to be coming up next year, and that's when we expect to learn more details about what led up to all of this here at noon.
And we have been on top of this since noon today. yesterday when we first got word of this with Tori Apodaca there at the scene, and now Shannon, you saw Steve Price as well. Several crews from News 8 are there trying to get information for you because we know you have so many questions wondering what's happening here. The Islamic Center of San Diego has about 5,000 members in its congregation. So do want to point that out. There are hundreds of events that happen there yearly, prayer services daily, and the school. And it looks like it's at least a 2-story building. Hard to tell from this chopper view, but it does seem to be a rather large mosque. Nearby it, right across from the mosque right there is another larger extension, it looks like, of the Islamic Center. There are several rooms that officers do need to go through to make sure this whole area is safe. But to hear from their tweet that pointed out it's contained, I'm not sure exactly what that means, but that's the latest that we're getting. So we're trying to gather all that information that we know so many of you are asking.